Sometimes this like little voice in our head can tell us like, yeah, you're not that good, you're not that fun to hang out with those people, and that is so not true. I think everybody's underestimating themselves. How do I show my personality in 10 seconds to people? They're always so surprised, like, okay, how can you stream if you're actually not like one of the top players? It would have killed the whole thing, and that's why I'm thankful every day that I still get to be here.
So, Miss Dorka, I want to start this off by asking you, what country has your favorite cuisine of food?
That's the tough one. I have to say, I'm from Hungary, so I love Hungarian cuisine. Like Hungarian goulash soup is so good, but if I had to choose something else, I would definitely say Italian. Like pasta and pizza
Yep.
has my heart for sure.
I can't argue with that because I'm Italian. I think it's the best food.
Honestly, I think if it wasn't for like if I wasn't trying to be like a little healthier, I would eat pasta or pizza every single day. I could not get bored of it.
We love the carbs. Italians love the carbs. But
I
I asked you that because
love.
you recently moved country and you've been traveling quite a bit.
Yes, I moved to Germany because I started a master's program here, and it was definitely a big change to to move here for lots of reasons. Actually, the main thing is for me, like the people are so different than Hungarians. I've been here for like an exchange program before, so I was kind of aware what it was like to live in Germany, but it's actually so much better than I thought. And I think people
Hmm.
are sometimes like misunderstood here. So, I mean, it was a huge change in many different levels, but the main thing for me is, yeah, the people were definitely the biggest. And also German food is really good too, if we are still talking about food, I have to say Schnitzel, Gühnersoße, and some
Oh yeah.
potatoes. Perfect.
Yeah, I love schnitzel. Schnitzel's one of the best.
Mm, obsessed.
So what are you studying? You're doing a master's?
Yes, I'm going to a business school. I'm doing a master of science in management. So we're basically studying a lot of leadership related things, digital marketing, data science, a lot of basically like how to manage a company, how to be an entrepreneur, how to make better decisions in the business world as like either like an employee or an employer, like no matter what your position is, then you
Yep.
you would be aware of these things. And I feel like I haven't been in a school where I learned so much. I feel like I'm in a really good place because I feel like we learned something really important every single day. And this never happened before me. Like every single time I thought, why do I need to know this? Why do I need to know this? And now it kind of connects. So
It's all
it's,
making sense. I
yeah,
love
it
that.
does. Yes. It's really fun actually.
Have you found that it applies in any way to like what you've done with streaming and stuff starting? It's almost like a little business when you think about it.
I mean, yes, kind of, but
Mm.
the thing is, like, me with streaming is different because I never started streaming because I wanted to do a business with it, or I never started to stream because I wanted to be a full-time streamer. It was something that I started in 2020 when I had a couple of months where I had this school internship lined up, but I also graduated from like the other school, so it was kind of like this mixed place, this kind of like
Yep.
empty area when I didn't know what to do, and then I started to pick up gaming and just like Warzone in general during COVID because my friends started to play with Warzone when it came out, and I think it was in March 2020, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
And then my guy friends were like really excited about it, and they were like, "Yeah, yeah, Dora, you should try it out." And then for me, it was like kind of weird at first because I've never been that much of a gamer. I like different types of games. Like I was a kid, like Need for Speed Underground 2 or like
Yep.
Sims and stuff like that, but I never got into like FPS games. So when I first tried it, I was super lost, and then I got obsessed with it,
Yeah.
and then I started to like watch these like YouTube videos, like how to control it better, how to
Mm.
play the game in general, and that's when it got like I got to know Twitch, and the first streamer I watched was Iceman Isaac, and then
Yep.
Jovo and Exact and all the OGs who kind of made us love Twitch in that sense in
Yeah.
that time. But it wasn't a business decision for me to start streaming. It was just something that I really found interesting at that time. I never heard about it before, so school, if I would start streaming right now, maybe I would do, if I wanted, like for example, if I wanted to do a business with the stuff I learned from school, obviously like I would have done it differently, but in my
Yep.
in my journey, I think it wasn't necessary. Like I didn't want it to turn into a business. It's just something that I adore. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we kind of found Twitch probably around the same time, and through we found the same streamers. Like I started with Iceman as well, and then Joe and Exact, and sort of branched off to communities around those people, and it sort
yeah.
of gives you a different perspective on streamers because they're always good vibes, and it's like a community that you're hanging out to talk with all day.
Yeah, I think that's why Twitch is so awesome. Like I have so many people who I have the same connection with, when you've been hanging out in chats so much, like you started to feel that you're becoming a part of a community, and then
Yeah.
you're not going back because of the streamer, natural, like overall, not just because of the streamer, but also because it is so nice when you enter a chat and then everybody's like, all your friends are there, and everybody's like saying hi, and you can just
Yep.
have a little conversation with them aside from the streamer. Like having, like being able to play with games with the streamers, that's a different topic, but I think the community building power of these streamers were huge, and I think it was definitely like the base of this Warzone community or friend group that we have now.
Mm.
Because those times, those hours, days, months that we spent in their chat was definitely having it built a strong foundation in the current Warzone community, at least in our friend group, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And it was like a weird time too, wasn't it, with COVID, and there was like a lot of people were locked down, so that was the only interaction a lot of people had was finding friends on the internet.
Yeah, and that was the weirdest thing. Like when I first started it, and I talked about it to my friends, and and so many people actually never really understood it till this day, which I
Yeah.
completely understand. I mean, sure, it's a strange concept if you think about it. Like those people are technically strangers because you never met them, but at the same time,
Mm.
they're not. Like, for example, I don't know about you, but I met so many people who I met through Twitch in real life as well, and the connection is the same as we are hanging out in the game or
Mm.
online. Like those are actually like real people behind the usernames, and I feel like so many
Yep.
people are not thinking about that, like every single person in your chat who could have the funniest, most random username, that is a person. So I think so many people are just like not noticing it, and everybody's like, oh my God, like those are strangers in the internet. Yeah, there are creeps, of course, but I think it's easy to tell who are the good ones.
Yeah, especially if you keep going back and it's the same names that you see day after day, week after week, and you sort of get to know who are the people who are being genuine and who are the trolls or something like that, you know.
Exactly. And it's just, I don't know. For me, it was like especially crazy because obviously, like being a girl in the streaming world is always kind of sketchy in certain ways, like
Mm-hmm.
depending, of course, what you do. But my community, like, like as a streamer, you can go multiple ways, like how you want to build your community, what you're
Yep.
enjoying, like who are the people who are kind of matching your vibes the most. And
Yep.
then it was pretty clear for me from the start. And I'm so lucky that I met people who are actually like on board with that. It was super clear from the start that we're not trying to keep toxic people in the community. So the mods are immediately blocking and banning and deleting every
Mm.
single message if somebody comes in with like this, these copy and paste like hate messages, and people just like go
Yeah.
into like 100 streams and they type the same thing to everybody's streams. It's just like hate and just like, I don't know, bullying. Immediately once like the first message pops up, they are immediately banned. So I think it kind of like that shows how cool these people are, and they're actually like actual real people who are not like here to make fun of people. But
Mm.
because of these things, I know for a fact that they're actually like really good people, and that's why I was never scared to hang out with anybody who I met through Twitch, who are one of these people, of course.
But okay, so how back then when you first clicked go live, how did you figure out? Did you have someone help you set everything up? Did you just look at some YouTube videos and find out how to go live?
I mean, that was kind of funny because I actually looked up everything myself on YouTube. So when I first started, I only had the old Xbox One. So I didn't even have a
Yep.
camera. I didn't have a microphone. I think I only had the Xbox that was connected to my TV, and then I had a little headset uh, with my controller, and that was the setup. So I went live just for fun, no camera, nothing, and I just wanted to see how it is, like
Yep.
if I would be nervous or what would happen, like if there's anybody who would join the stream and stuff. So it was kind of a new experience for sure, and I had so many tech issues. It's insane. I was just annoyed all the time.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
constantly
you probably
breaking
muted
up.
the first time the whole stream. You never know.
Maybe, yeah, I think I was muted, and
Yeah.
then the second time I was like, okay, so I had this headset had a little like built-in mic in it, so I was just
Mm.
trying to experiment. But I haven't even had a camera for a little bit. Like, mm, I think the first, I think I don't want to say anything that's incorrect. I can't remember really, but I think I got affiliated before I had a camera.
Really?
Yes, because I remember there was this like kind of bigger trip for me to go to the electronics store, but
Hmm.
it was not a big trip. It was just like the first like investment or like the first shopping for the
Yep.
stream. And then I told myself when I started it, I was like, okay, so you should not put any money that you don't have, because I'm obviously
Hmm.
a poor college student, like did not have any resources to do anything like that. So I told myself that I'm not going to spend money on it as long as I don't feel like it's actually like something I enjoy doing,
Yep.
or if I find people who are hanging out with me. And it turned out that people were just really, really nice and helpful. They saw that I was really bad at the game, and really bad at streaming, and I had no clue about anything. So they just kind of took me in, gave me advice and helped me. And I still cannot be thankful enough for that, because they basically made this foundation to the whole
Mm.
streaming thing that is happening right now. It's
Is
crazy.
there people that helped you back then still around now? Like still the
Yes.
same? Really?
Not
That's
everyone,
really
of
cool.
course, life is happening, like it's a hectic
Yeah.
thing, but so many of them, like for example, yesterday when I was streaming, I had like two or three people who just had their 29-month resub, which is
Wow.
insane. It is absolutely insane. I started in 2020 August.
Yep.
So, yeah, obviously at the beginning it wasn't like anything regular, and I had a lot of breaks in it, but yeah, if you look at it, it's a long time.
That is. And so back then, you're obviously part of a few different communities, and knew some people who would stop by and spend time with you. But did you have any intention of this is, I want to stream all the time? It was just like a casual thing, like, oh, I'm just gaming, I might as well turn on the stream.
I mean, it's like the thing with that is obviously like when I get affiliated and then when I had my first PC and then I had a camera and then, like things are starting
Mm.
to become like crazy, then obviously like I saw the friends who I've been watching and who I've been hanging out like somebody got partnered and then I was like super motivated, like, oh my God, they got
Mm.
partnered. So like and now I have to be partnered. Otherwise, like I'm gonna be like, I don't know, like an outcast or something. So I was
Mm.
super fixated on like trying to hit partner for like 2 months and I was like and then I realized like it didn't make me happy, like
Yeah.
this it kind of made me hate the streams just in general because I was so stressed. I was super
Mm.
super stressed like what's gonna happen, like oh my goodness, like what if I have a lower viewer count stream and then my stats are going down and like I
Yeah.
had this like really weird way of thinking and then I read some like blog posts and like watched some YouTube videos in this topic, and then it kind of switched.
Hmm.
Obviously, like it's kind of a cool thing. Everybody wants to get partnered. It's super fun. It's really cool. But at the same time, like I had to sit down and realize, like, okay, so why are you streaming? Really? Like, do you want to become a content creator? Like, do you want to pursue this full time? Like, do you want to? I don't know, like be a full-time streamer from now on. And then I realized it like, okay, so it would be nice in certain sense, but at the same time I don't want that
Yeah.
because I have so many goals that are not related to streaming necessarily. Actually, like I'm kind of maybe if I could combine my knowledge in the streaming field or like the connections and my current studies in like marketing or digital business, whatever, that would be absolutely insane because I love streaming and I love
Hmm.
this field of life as well. So if I could connect both, it would be awesome. But I'm not like I realized I it's just gonna kill the fun out of streaming, and if I would have kept that mindset, I would not be here right now. So
Yeah. I
it had to
remember
switch.
you were hitting like almost the partner numbers. I remember that, and I was kind of rooting for you at the same time. I was like, she's just like she's almost there. She can do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but then
yeah, it was
it
super
almost
close.
happened. I mean, no, it was not that close actually. Like, so to get partnered, you need 75
Mm.
viewers for like 1 or 2 months at least. I mean, to be able to apply. And
Yep.
then obviously the other two is like kind of easy to do it. Like you have to stream certain amount of times or like certain amount of like duration. I don't know. But
Yep.
the thing is, with the 75 viewers, it started to, as I said, it started to like make the streams toxic for me, at least like as my
Mm.
personal experience. Not sure if the people could tell. I think some of them could. But after, like, I think it was 21 January or something, or maybe 22. I'm not sure. There was this like big switch in viewership, and it was not
Yep.
just for me, it was for a lot of people. I think COVID in general just ended, like this
Mm.
staying home phase. It kind of ended. People went outside again. People had other things to do. I wasn't streaming as often because I was out and about doing things as well.
Yep.
New job, new places, new experiences. I moved as well. My internet connection was bad, so I had a lot of things. And
Mm.
I feel like this two, no, this three, like people starting to leave their houses again, slash me having a lot of technical issues or doing my own stuff as well. And the third one, there was like this, I don't know what happened. It was like maybe it was this algorithm thing, not sure, in Twitch that changed for countless streamers.
Yep.
Everybody's viewership basically extremely dropped in a day.
Mm.
Like I remember this was the phase when, or like maybe it was like they just cut out like random bots who we didn't know we had. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
changed from one day to another. Like from averaging 50 I went down to like 30 in a day. And then
Mm.
it was a difficult period. It was like I thought I did something wrong, which maybe I probably did. Yeah, I should have been consistent, but yeah, we're living to have fun and not to stream in general. We're streaming to have fun and not live to stream, you know? So
Yeah, exactly.
if I would have just grinded it for months and months with no end, 8 hours a day, it would have just driven me crazy. So
No, that's right. And I think one of the best parts about being a viewer in your stream is that it's always like a fun, relaxing, entertaining sort of stream. Like you don't take yourself too seriously. There's a lot of
yeah.
laughs, a lot of tears, and
Yes. Thanks for
it's a
saying that. Yeah, I mean, I just really enjoy it. Like I don't know. I think a lot of people don't understand this concept, but when I talk about it, how I'm not comfortable in front of the camera, it's absolutely true. Like if somebody is taking a video of me, I'm completely like frozen. And then when I'm
yeah,
streaming, when I have like when they record you, you have the chance to edit things. You have the chance to
yep,
record again, 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 you know? And I'm
hmm,
still getting nervous AF. And now when I'm streaming, doesn't matter how many people are watching, which is like real life stuff. Like you cannot edit that, you cannot change that.
mm,
I'm the most comfortable self when I'm streaming, and I actually cannot tell you why it is, but it has a lot to do with the community. But that's the reason why I can be like myself on stream. That's why it's like it's fun community because I feel like similar people attract each other.
yep.
Maybe not like in interests or not like backgrounds or anything like that, but just vibes in general, I think. So I'm really happy you said that actually because that is the goal that we're going for actually here.
Yeah, and like it's hard to miss because it is a lot of fun. You do a lot of community stuff as well, so you get everyone involved. It's not just like, "Hey, this is me, I'm gaming, watch me." It's like, "Hey, play with me," or like, we're aiming for this, we're gonna raise money for this cause," or like all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff too.
Yeah, it has a lot of variety. I mean, it could be more variety actually. Like I've been thinking about trying new games and stuff. It's just
Yep.
I'm having so much fun playing the regular games we have because I know how much fun it is. Like for example,
Mm.
like we play Warzone 2 right now. We've been started like since Verdansk, you know.
Yep.
So obviously the game is changing. The people are changing a little bit, but we still have like the OGs who are still
Mm.
coming back. And those gaming sessions that we had like they are so nice. They were always so nice and they are super fun till this day. So it's kind of hard for me to jump from this game and the current way of streaming because it just works for me. I just enjoy it so much. But I understand like yeah, if you're streaming, you obviously want to do something new occasionally because after a while it can be super repetitive and obviously it's like you wouldn't watch the same
Yeah.
stream over and over again for like the 100th time. So it's kind of
Yeah.
difficult for me to just switch it up sometimes because I enjoy the current ways really, really much. But yeah, I'm always working on things how to make it fun. Like for example, for Tuesday, I want to do like a little for next week. I want to do a little like longer stream with some challenges, or like we did
Oh
cooking
yeah.
streams in the past. We
Yep.
had like two subathons before a charity stream. Like I don't know, it was a decent variability, but aspire to have more.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. And like, so I obviously been watching you for a long time because I've known you from around the communities. You're a mod in Jowo's channel, and you gave me my first big raid of like 20 plus people. I got super
Yeah.
nervous, and I managed to play some sub games with you once too, which was
Oh, that
like
was really
a
good.
massive thing. Yeah. But yeah, so you gave me my first massive raid. Do you remember your first massive raid? Because I was super nervous for like 20 plus people coming in? What about
Good
you?
question. I think I have two in mind. So, do you know Jay Flowers? Um,
Yep.
so he got rated by, I want to say Iron. I think
Oh, wow.
Iron rated him, and then he rated me with like the leftover Iron people, the
Wow.
community. Like I think he
Yep.
got rated, and then a couple hours later, I don't know, it was like a couple thousand people, and then after like a couple of hours, he was still streaming. There were like this 200 or 300 people still, like from
Yep.
the raid and his community as well. And then he passed it to me. That was like one of the craziest ones. The second one is that was actual like like direct raid. I want to say it was either, I think it was True Game Data. I think it was
Yep.
Tony,
Hmm.
if I remember correctly. I think that was one of the first ones. And that's when we started to be friends. Actually, we've been friends before that, but yeah, it was crazy. I don't even know. I don't even know what happened. I can't even remember. I think my brain just blocked out. I was just so nervous.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like a
just
blur
so nervous.
sometimes.
Yeah, because you don't know what to say. Like there are people who are just joining, and then you have like 10 seconds to interest
Yep.
them in yourself.
Hmm.
Otherwise, they click away, and then it's a huge pressure. Okay, like how do I show my personality in 10 seconds to people? Like maybe somebody
Mm.
would vibe here so much, but like obviously they like their own streamers, so they don't want to hang out with another one right now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You mentioned True Game Data. I remember seeing him and you guys playing some games together with I'm Gamer Grill, and I was like, hey, I know those guys. That's the guy who does the website and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. How did you guys network that kind of thing? Because obviously you've been around communities for a while, but how did that come about?
I'm actually not, I don't remember actually. I think it was Christina who joined my stream once. And then, or like maybe we had similar, I think we had similar people in our chat. I'm
Hmm.
not sure. Like she started streaming before me for sure. Like she was already like streaming for a couple of months when I started, I think.
Yep.
So they both were, and they started to build the website, the truegamedata.com. So I think somebody went into somebody's chat. I can't remember if I went into hers or she came to mine. I don't know, but we started to like talk a little, and then we scheduled some games because I used to stream on Thursdays. I used to do these morning streams when that it was like super late night for the Pacific time zone people, like the West Coast US
Mm.
friends were all on gaming, and those Thursdays were super fun. I had to jump on stream at like 8 a.m. in the morning, and then we could game together. Now these gaming sessions are not as often, but we still do those actually.
Yeah.
But they're not as often because of school and just work and everything, I cannot stream during the day anymore. So
Mm.
these morning streams are not there, but still we still managed to put those games together, which is really nice. And I actually met them in real life. I stayed with them in San Diego last
Yeah.
year, so that was a blast.
Yeah, that's really cool. Who are some of the other people? I think you've met up with was it Isabel as well that you met up with?
Yes, yes. Isabel, aka Two Lives, and
Two
I
Lives, yep.
also stayed with Brookie,
Hmm.
Brookie Cookie, and then Corbin, aka Expel. So I've been hanging out with them in Texas when we went there, and in California it was I met up with Tony, Christina, and also Koala. It was really really nice. I love this US trip, and hopefully this year I can go again and meet some of them again, and also some new friends. It would be amazing.
You said earlier that it was like you kind of it's the same as you were talking to them online. Was it initially like that? Was it just like, oh, this is weird for a second, and then just it was back to like being
It was
friends, or
weird for
what
a
was it
second,
like?
actually. I was worried
Mm.
about that it's gonna be weird, when you're kind of like
Yeah.
nervous for meeting someone for the first time. Like I knew it's gonna be fine because like you know them, like you talk to them so much. You play with
Mm.
them, you hear them on Discord, like you know how they are, but obviously like you're kind of nervous that you're gonna be awkward or like it's
Yeah.
not gonna be vibey in real life. And then it was just amazing from the start. And yeah, the first time we saw each other, we just gave each other huge hugs, and then immediately the fun was there. It was not even like a
Mm.
slightest awkward silence. So that's how you know that you have the cool people
No, that's
in your.
awesome. You guys are friends.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm. And so, what other communities are you in? Because I know that obviously, because I said you're Mod with Joe, and I believe you're friends with Art as well. Art is War, and you hang around exact streams a lot. And like I've known you for so long that I've seen you everywhere. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean it's everywhere. Yeah, I know Ordis War Jesse. He's really cool. Fig is a little doggo. But yeah, I know I hang out in a lot of communities. Actually, I don't have a time to do that so much anymore. Like I
Yep.
hung out in streams um back in the day much more often. Like since I have so much going on in my life right now.
Yep.
And during COVID times when you could not really do anything, like no, there were no parties, no school events. You were working from home or and stuff like that. It was kind of you had to stay home, so you had to do stuff at home. And now I have school like 3 or 4 days a week, and I do work next to it part time, and I'm trying to balance the streams with that. So watching streams or like actually gaming outside of streaming got super minimal, which I'm so sad about.
Yeah.
But that's why I love streaming. I actually grew. I don't know how to say that, but I started loving streaming even more now because it's just kind of this little escape, this little like gaming bubble.
Yeah.
And I'm just get so excited when I stream because then I know it's like hours of uninterrupted gaming time with the best buddies. It's just amazing. So I think it made me appreciate it even more, if I can say that.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Especially you've had a long day or something, and you just want to like hang out with friends, and you don't have to do anything too serious. You can just be and have fun and laugh and do all those kinds
Exactly.
of things.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
streaming for you something you're gonna keep going with?
Of course.
Do you have any plans? Yeah.
Of course. There's no plan for me to stop streaming. And currently the schedule is I try to do 3 streams a week. So
Mm-hmm.
if I can't, I always do two. So it always depends on what I'm doing. But in regular weeks, I always try to do two, like Thursdays, no wait, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. But it kind of like switches up based on my like schedule, like class schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like as long as I'm able to do the streams, I will definitely do that. Like it's because it is fun, and that's why I'm really grateful for that, like the way things are, because streaming still fun just as much as it was, or even more to me. And I think that's not really like a normal thing. I think I mean, it has its ups and downs, of course, but
Yeah.
like if you do it as a job, sometimes it becomes like super like you
Like a
you
chore.
treat it as exactly like a chore. And then that's
Yeah.
why I'm so thankful that I was like disappointed when I had those times like I didn't get partnered, or like numbers were not coming in like
Mm.
they were at some point. And then I realized like if they would have, you would not be streaming right now. Like it would have
Yeah.
killed the whole thing. And that's why I'm thankful every day that I still get to be here, because it actually remained fun and became even more
Mm.
fun. So I don't know how that happened, but I'm actually really thankful. I'm just enjoying it. So hopefully it will stay for a
Of
while.
of course. Of course. And how? What would you give yourself advice when you first started? Is there any one thing that you think would be something you missed out on doing for a long time, or some advice that you could have given yourself?
Good question and a hard one. Um, Not sure. I think maybe like to reach out a little more. Um, I think
Okay.
I have this personality trait that I'm just scared of people thinking that, like, I don't know. I'm just kind of scared of what people think sometimes. I'm much better at that. That's not at this point, but I was super scared back in the day to reach out or to shoot my shot, you know?
Yep.
I
Yep.
was always like, oh my God, I'm not gonna DM this person. I'm not gonna ask for games. I'm not gonna go into their chat because they're gonna think that I'm trying to do this and that or something. And then I
Okay.
realized like it's not that deep. Like you just go for it, just go, just ask the people who you want to game with. Just have fun with your friends. Just shoot your shot. Like what could actually happen? Like they're gonna say no and then that's that. And I think I did that so much. Like I was too scared to reach out to the people who I really really enjoyed watching. You know, I never asked for games from certain people who I really wanted to game with. And then I think it's just this confidence thing. The only advice is just me be more comfortable, or like not
Yep.
comfortable and confident at the same time. Because sometimes this like little voice in our head can tell us like, yeah, you're not that good, you're not that fun to hang out with those people, and that is so not true. I think everybody's underestimating themselves. So like so many people are underestimating themselves, and I
Yeah.
think that's kind of yeah, that is something I would definitely change if I could do it again, but that is the only thing I would say.
I like that because I like honestly, I've tuned into you so often because I find you a very entertaining streamer. You are good at reading chat. You're good at interacting with people when they come in. It's like you almost look back and you try not to miss something someone types in chat. Like you scroll back and have a look, and
Always scroll
you don't want to
back.
miss anything.
Yeah. And that is one other thing I want to say is like first of all, as I said it before on streams all the time, like there are like two types of streamers in my mind. There is like the gamer, the
Yep.
super like high level gamers, and there are the community ones. Like the gamers who are like having like crazy PRs, they're trying to do nukes, they're trying to have records, they compete, they do like all sorts of like gaming related events, whatever. Like, you know, they really focused on the
Yep.
game. And then the other ones that kind of focus more on the community, obviously like love gaming as well, but like they really try to build a community. And I'm like when people ask me if I'm good at the game, I say no. And they're always so surprised. Like, okay, how can you stream if you're actually not like one of the top players? And I'm like,
Yeah.
because I'm a community building streamer. Like I'm not streaming because I want to be the best in it. I stream because I enjoy it and I want to play with the people who who I'm building around it. So I think that's why it's like that's why I'm like in this position right now. That's why I'm reading
Yep.
chat because I'm not good in the game. But I'm good at reading every single person's message and remembering their usernames and asking about stuff they told me last stream or two streams or 10 streams ago, you know? If somebody
Yep.
comes into my chat and tells me where are they from or what are they doing, I remember that, and I think that's the best thing about having like a limited amount of viewers or like a limited chat where the community members are coming back to you, because it does feel like an actual friend group. Like if you come into the stream and you tell something to other people, they will request a feedback later after that, you know.
Yep.
It's not like you're just talking to nothing and then nobody will care about what you say. Like that's why like I died countless times in the game because I was reading chat, because I don't know. I
Yeah.
just want people to feel like home. I want people to have like the place where they can just come to, you know. Who cares if
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
die in the gulag for the hundredth time? Like, yeah. Obviously, I want to perform well at the game as well, but it's so much more important that the people who are in chat feel valued because they are. So, you know.
Yeah. That was one thing I had to come to grips with as well, is trying to feel like I had to play well on stream in the game that I'm playing. When you don't really, because even as a viewer, if you go into a stream and you want to say hello to somebody, like you say hello to the streamer,
Yeah.
obviously, they're not always going to see it. But if you just get ignored by everyone in the whole chat, you kind of don't want to come back.
Exactly, and that's what I love about the community so much. Like when a new follower comes in and they are nice and they are just saying hi
Yeah.
and ask something, if the community sees, or even if I'm actually just talking to the chat or like between games or something, the community will like always tag them and ask them and interact with them, which I love because that's what I
Hmm.
do when I'm a moderator or like a regular in other people's chats. Like as you said, like yes, I'm a moderator for Jovo, and every single time I'm in there and somebody comes in that is like actually respectful and like nice, I will
Mm.
always like, hi, welcome to the community, like just to be nice because if nobody acknowledges you, why would you stay? Like,
Yeah.
then
The
you
people
give
who
no
just want to watch the
chance.
game watch. Yeah, the people who want to chat will say hello. So obviously they're
Yeah.
looking for something.
But
So
you have really great ability to mix like the gameplay with the chatting. Like you're definitely doing it at a better level than I do.
no, I
At
try
least the
because
gameplay level is much higher level.
I don't know about that anymore.
It
But
is.
like because I've been around the same like watching Joe and
Yeah.
Z and Iceman, like they're really good at the game, but they're also really good at chatting to people, and so that's the people I'm looking up to. Like it's unreal
Yeah.
how well they can play, but they can still like remember something about somebody or engage with like 3 or 4 different conversations at the same time, and like drop.
The thing with Jovo right now is what I'm a little like sad about, not sad about, like I could not be more happy for that guy because he's like
Mm,
the absolute best. He's such a nice person. He's such a goated player. He's like what my absolutely best, I don't know, my favorite streamer on Twitch right
mm,
now, um but that's the thing, like I remember the times when we had like 60 viewers, like
yeah,
that's when
me
we
too.
join, or like
Yeah.
Zach, and in these people's chats it was like such a tight community. You went there, you knew everybody. It was like such a homey feeling, and then
Mm,
obviously like I could not be more happy for them that they blew up. They deserve everything. But now the chat's vibe is a little different. You still see the OGs, you still see the people who you're friends with, but now obviously if you have 60 people, the chat conversation is much different than you have 3,000,
yeah.
if you have 3,000 people in your chat, sometimes you miss messages that you would really love to read, and sometimes
Mm,
you miss people who you really want to talk to. So it's kind of difficult to keep up with a chat like that. They're doing a great job to handle that, but this community feeling sometimes get lost if there is a huge community, like thousands of people. I
yeah.
mean.
Yeah, there's like I don't know what the limit is, but surely after a few hundred viewers and an active chat, it's like it'd be just impossible to keep up with what everyone
It's
says.
really difficult, right? Like you just can't, it just goes so fast, like you have to turn
Mm,
it into like slow mode or something, I don't know.
yeah.
Or yeah, it's just kind of impossible to keep up with. So
Yeah, but like I said, they're the ones I've looked up to from the start. So it's always been the benchmark of being community and being good at the game. But I mean, like you said, you don't have to be good at the game. You can be just a community person, and you're going there to hang out with people, and people vibe with that. People pick up on that, and they keep coming back.
definitely,
I
I
keep coming back
think.
to your streams.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I want to be better because I know how annoying it is if you play a game and then you just watch someone play and they just keep losing in like weird,
Mm,
stupid ways. Or like they just reading chat so they lose the game and stuff. It can be annoying, and I understand that many people cannot handle that really well, which is
mm,
completely fine. But that's why I'm trying to mix with the super chatty streams with the more game focused streams. So
yep.
So like I don't want to go into that direction when I just reckless about the game at all times. Like it's about like then it's like disrespectful for the team members who I have. So
Mm.
like when I mean that I prioritize the stream, like I don't mean it like yeah, it happened a couple of times when I just like looked at chat and then there was this random guy pushing me from nowhere and then
Mm.
obviously I died and I felt so bad because the teammates are there to have fun and then I looked at somewhere else, but it could happen when you're not streaming as well. So
Yeah.
sometimes you just have a sip of your drink and then somebody attacks you from behind, whatever. Like it's just yeah,
It
it's one of those,
happens.
but you need the balance. So I'm trying to work on to have to focus a lot more on the game or to be a little better at the game with still being this community centered streamer,
Yeah.
which I enjoy so much.
Yeah. And obviously, you said earlier that it's thanks to the mods, especially when Widows come in, we try and shut that down straight away and get it out of there. But is there times where you've taken something someone said to heart and like how do you, because it's obviously a weird feeling when you're streaming and then someone comes in and criticizes you or they say something really mean, and most of the time you're like, yeah, that's just a comment I can brush off, but sometimes one comment, it could be innocuous and it just gets you.
I mean, I think it was like two of them, but to be honest, I don't really have that many of an encounter with weird people. It kind of sounds
Mm.
weird because you would not think this is true, but I'm actually super honest. I think I had in my 2 years of streaming, I had like 20 people total who came in with like hate speech,
Okay.
and that is in Twitch, like in the Twitch circle, that is
It's a good
extremely
ratio.
extremely little, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then and then it was like, yeah, like some of them were like sexual, but you could tell like these are like copy and paste messages, you know. It was not like super,
Mm.
like a personal attack. I think we had like two or three people who were like personal, and then they
Mm.
get immediately banned. And afterwards, like that was like two streams when I ended the stream when I was a little upset or something.
Yeah.
Um, but actually, no, like I think I'm in a lucky position because of my mod, as I said. They are like
Mm.
bulldogs. If they see
Yeah.
somebody trying to be disrespectful, they are immediately blocking them, and they are also like protecting me and chat as well with that because sometimes they're so quick that I don't even see the message. They already
Mm.
deleted. So I actually don't have the chance to, or the chat even doesn't have the chance to read the message because they immediately, before, like the exact
Yeah.
same time they send it, they immediately block it. So I'm really thankful for them because they protect the community, but also they protect me. And if I have a sensitive day and I would see something, then obviously maybe it would get to me, but they never let that happen. So
Yeah. And they're obviously like, because they're your friends as well. It's like a
yeah.
support network as well. They understand and they're there to talk to you if you need it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely it grew out of Twitch for sure. Like these
Mm.
relationships are not just on Twitch anymore. Obviously, like that's the main platform where we hang out, um but we also talk in private messages. I met with a bunch of them. Um so it's a lot more. Like obviously these online friends turn into actual in real life friends, which I love. The distance is kind of difficult because it's hard to meet up with many of them, but hopefully we can work on that in the future.
Yeah. And also, what about all the other socials? Because I mean, you've got your Instagram, you've got the YouTube, the TikTok, everything like that. Do you pay much
Thing,
attention to that kind of stuff?
no, the thing is,
No.
I used to try to, like when we had this partner grind era, I was really trying to focus on it. And
Mm.
then it just never really happened for me. Like I have an Instagram, a Twitter, and tried YouTube, And then I realized like how much work that was actually. And I had a
Mm.
full-time job. I just couldn't keep up with the content in that sense, you know?
Yep.
And I was kind of struggling with finding my niche because, like, I was streaming gaming content, but I was not interested in making gaming content, you know?
Yeah.
I just enjoyed streaming it and doing it on live streams, but I was not like, you know, these YouTube videos when, like, yeah, this is the best loadout for this and that, you know?
Mm.
It's not just not my thing. I enjoy watching them, but like I'm not a good player.
It's not
Nobody would
you.
listen to
Yeah.
my advice, and I don't have like this sick gameplays, you know, or like these
Mm.
compilations when I have 20 kill games and stuff like that. So it's just not my thing. But lifestyle is like super different from the streams I'm doing, and then I would have to switch up the
Mm.
stream. So it was kind of like a this identity crisis thing for me. Like, okay, so if
Mm.
I produce content, what is the content that is actually matching my vibe? And I couldn't figure it out, and I wasn't enjoying doing those because I felt like none of the videos I put out were actually like for me or like for the community. It was just for
Mm.
just to have some content because everybody was pushing content all the time. Like everybody was posting TikToks, YouTube videos,
Yeah.
everything constantly, multiple times a day. And then I realized I just can't keep up with that, and it just I just had so many things going on. It was I just couldn't find what actually interested me in
Mm.
making myself. So I kind of left it there, which is completely fine. Like now that I'm learning digital marketing and stuff, I'm learning so much more about it. So if I wanted to like I don't know, wake up one of the channels a little more,
Hmm.
I could definitely
Yep.
do that. Maybe I will do it in the future. I never say never.
Mm.
That's my motto, but still, so far I tried a couple of them, and I kind of lost interest in almost all of them after a while because
Yeah.
of this content identity situation. But
It's like one of those
yeah,
things. It's like one of those things where they say it's like a known fact, or it's like what the idea that people push out there that
yeah,
if you stream, you have to make videos so people can find
exactly.
your stream. But
Yeah, it is
if
true
you don't
in
have
that
fun doing it,
sense.
yeah,
It
it
is
is true.
true.
If you don't have fun and it feels like it's a grind for you when it should be your hobby, then you'll burn yourself out.
Exactly. And I think that's what happened. I had like this really like this low point when I had this thing like
Mm.
okay, so I'm not enjoying making the content videos, but I love streaming. Like, does that mean that like I have to stop streaming because I cannot grow my channel that rapidly? And then I that's when it kind of clicked for me. I was like, no, like I can't just be a streamer. It's okay to just be a streamer.
Yeah.
It's okay just to enjoy the game. It's okay if you're not good in the game. It's all about like what makes you happy, and streaming makes me super happy without like having other channels of content or without being
Mm.
a full-time content creator. And I actually love that. It's like this best of both worlds. Insert
Yep.
Hannah Montana. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just really happy that no, actually I'm really thankful that like I can still stream without having to force something on myself that I don't want to do. And I
Yep.
think that's a really special situation because the people in the community are just the best people, and they're still coming back even if I don't post like random like YouTube videos or TikToks
Yeah.
or you know. So
And I think it's very easy to tell when somebody's not having a good time as on stream being the streamer, and if
definitely, for
someone's feeling
sure.
pressured to be there, like you obviously don't want to see that.
Yeah, I think it's super easy. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people are really good at masking their feelings. I'm not. Like, if I'm having a bad time on stream, you can tell. But I think you know this. Like, you already seen this
Mm.
before. Like, you can always tell my mood like
Yeah.
in 0.2 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
it's just immediately it's on my face. Like, if I'm not
The
having
face
it,
changes. We can see it. Yeah.
if I'm not having it, I'm not doing it. Or I'm doing it and I'm complaining. So,
Mm.
Oops, my focus. No.
No, but as a viewer of yours for a long time, I can say it's been a pleasure watching you grow and watching you have fun and learning and being a good spot for someone to go and be feeling part of a community. So I want to thank you for being such a good streamer. Even if you don't make the videos, we still love you. And it's been a pleasure having you on here and to talk to you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Mwah! Love you so much.